We are live. We've got a kitty on our desk. I had to move the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Welcome to. This is a Saturday. It's not
Yes,
talking.
darling.
It's
It's
not.
get what game is hell.
It's not talking crit.
No.
I almost put that into the description when I was typing the topic for.
Alright.
I'm over here getting everything ready. Rach comes into the room. The cat's like, "Oh, it's going to be mommy. I better come over and get my attention, get my love."
Oh.
David, welcome. Good to see you.
Hi.
So,
Oh no.
oh,
I was gonna pet her. I was just like, oh no, I don't play with that.
she's a little
That
frisky
hissy
right
stuff.
now.
No, girl. You can move it along.
She's a little possessive of the fact that
Mm.
she's got the space. I should really change the angle there, Doctor, so people could see it. Yeah.
Shady.
Sorry, Sadie. Doctor Sadie, whatever. I still can't see it. But they'll be closer when you put your head up. When you stand up, they'll all go.
Mm.
That's the cat that hisses. That's the cat.
That's what makes all
That little thing?
that.
Have I know I would never guess. So, if you are, I guess, on in that northeast New York City region, it's
Oh, here it's snowing.
yeah, the snow is beginning. They didn't know what we were going to get. First, it was 3 to 5 inches. Now they're saying 1 to 3. It'll be a mess until I know, and I'll get my exercise minutes in tomorrow, shoveling snow.
Mm.
Joy, oh joys. Glenn, hey, I'm here. The thing you cannot change.
Ooh.
in
I
reference
love that.
in reference to the show's title, I appreciate it, Glenn. Edward, my cat just heard your cat and came running out to see who had invaded her home.
Oh. See, you're driving everybody crazy, Cat.
Sadie, oh, all right. So
That's a girl. You go walk on that bicycle.
she jumped on
We
it
usually use that for
for, for
for storage.
storage. It's for storage.
Yeah, can I nag again?
Yeah, she can egg again. You can.
Maybe get it going. It's gonna be really good for my knees, man.
It can be good for my
And
knee.
good for your knees too.
Oh my god, my
And
knees today.
more. Your heart.
My
My
knee,
heart.
my knees
Mm.
today.
It'll
Oh
give
my,
us more variety with exercise.
my knees today. Not good. They were feeling the pain.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. Thaco's Hammer. Latest episode recorded in October is up,
Wow.
and
They must have been going through that with a fine tooth comb.
uh, Donna, I take it she's not a people kitty. So you know what?
She's a street kitty.
She's a her people kitty.
Yeah.
So she'll handle most people, kind of, sort of. But like my son, no,
Hates him.
hates him.
Can't.
Well,
No,
not
no, no. I hate him. But
obsessed.
she's. Oh my god. He'll come here and he'll like. There was one year he was here and well maybe last year, and he had to carry a snow shovel because she was like defending her territory and would swat at his feet.
And I think it's because she knows that's
Right.
our son, our child, and therefore she's a little picky, a little protective.
She just hides from most other people. She's starting to come around for our in-laws, for my in-laws,
Yeah, my parents.
for Eric's parents, like when they take care of her when we, go away to a con or something. But
My
yeah,
fault. My father's a little bit clueless. Like she'll like ask him for, hey, give me a little attention, and he doesn't do it. And when he finally does, he like wants to like grab her, and then she's
yeah.
like, I didn't want fucking that. I just wanted you to just like acknowledge I was here. She's a
Yeah, she's a funny one. And that's the first person that she met from this whole house
yeah.
is your dad. And she bit him even
Well, let's put that in context. When did she buy them?
when he messed with her food bowl.
Right.
And she was like, nope, that's mine.
Yeah. You gave it. You can't take it back.
What you give it, you can't take it away.
Yeah.
Huh?
So there's a little food aggression, and she doesn't have that food aggression now. But back then, when she was a street cat, she had a little bit of a food aggression. Yeah.
Mhm.
So this past week, now I'm having trouble. We didn't have any doctor's appointments. That was last week.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was last week, all that doctor stuff.
Yeah, we didn't have
You
any
have your appointment tomorrow.
on Sunday.
Sorry, on Monday with your nephrology.
Nephrologist.
Hmm.
A word I never heard of until this time in
Yeah,
my
I
life.
hadn't heard about it until I worked in
Uh,
a hospital.
oh, a kidney doctor.
Yeah.
It's like why do they call a lung doctor a pulmonologist? It sounds like that would be your heart. No, your heart's going. They're all wackadoo. It confuses everybody. But so no doctor's appointments to update on. We both have, as of this past Monday, we do a weekly Monday weigh-in.
Yes.
Year to date, I'm down just over 6 pounds. I think you're just under 6.
Yeah, I think I'm 5.7.
So we're doing okay with the weight loss. Nothing spectacular, but nothing. Uh, at least we're not going in the wrong direction.
Hmm.
So we're like the tortoise in the hare. Slow and steady wins the race.
Are you the tortoise and I'm the hare? I guess the hare, HAII.
Edward, your kidneys are made of nephrons.
There we go.
And parasocial, welcome. So, in my little,
Somebody had recommended that to you.
yeah, in my W, one day we had talked about the fact that we were having, what was that stuff we've been having, Rach? Just came the other day.
Rockstar.
Rockstar. Oh, I like the Rockstar.
Rockstar recovery.
We were having Rockstar, and somebody said, that shit ain't good for you. That probably isn't. But you should try.
We haven't drank it since it came. So.
Yeah,
maybe they did their job.
W, and it's supposedly uh, a, uh, what do you call it? An energy aid made for gamers, but it uses actual like cocoa beans to get the
Yeah, that's
caffeine.
peach.
It's a good flavor though. It comes in this little tub, and
I'm surprised there's a powder and it's that tasty.
yeah,
Huh.
So I gotta say, with a decent recommendation, if we were smart in marketing, we'd have like affiliate links on the bottom of the screen for like the Amazon stuff that we talk about. But
Oh yeah, I've never put up anything about like the stuff that I use for the workouts and stuff.
we don't, we're not professionals at this, folks. I mean,
Especially me.
we're pure amateurs. We're pure amateurs. But other updates before we get into the main part of this topic for the show, is that our Gardein is rocking.
Oh, it's banging.
So we've got 13 peppers coming that I can find, which tells you I think there might be more, but there's 13 that I have actually tracked down and identified. We have tomatoes coming in, both red and yellow.
Enjoying them in salads.
We've been harvesting our salads every couple of days, and it's been really exciting. And we're starting other plants, so we're ready. We're getting ready to swap some stuff out. Some of the flowers are out, as my grandmother would say, ausgebloomt. Not a real German word, okay? but in her pigeon English, ausgeblumt was bloomed out. What can I tell you?
Is
But
Ouse got anything?
I've no idea. It was ausgeblumt. It
Her own language. That's
yes.
so sweet.
Um, Edward, I'm nearly complete with a project and have not forgot about cooking for gamers' health. That will be exciting.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be great to get like recipes and
Yeah. No,
help
no.
like that.
Paranoid. Sorry, paranoid. Parasocial. Should have had a V8. I drink Crystal Light iced tea. Listen, we love the Crystal Light iced tea, especially the raspberry.
Oh yeah, the raspberry is very good, and I was making it every day because we go through a pitcher every day.
Yep. But now
Mm.
we've been making fresh iced tea. Is that the word we?
I made the loose leaf iced tea. Like it's
Yeah,
closer to what tea,
it's loose
how
leaf.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
So we've been making this one. I think we talked a little bit about tea last week,
Yeah.
like David's and stuff. So I found a new tea spot for when we need it. It's called Serenity out in Manhasset. So we'll be able to go over there to check it out because we're gonna be running out of the blueberry soon. This week is probably we're gonna run out of the
Oh my
blueberry,
god.
so we're gonna have to find a new source for that. Because yeah, I was reading some of their ingredients and stuff, and a lot of them come with sugar in it. I didn't understand that they
I
came
can
with
feel.
sugar, like somehow among the tea leaves and stuff.
It's a little pre-sweetened, I guess.
Yeah.
Vanishing Tower Press, welcome.
Hmm.
Um, Edward, I am a former professional. I think that there are certain things that you still are, even if you retire from it.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, like Rach is still a social worker. It just doesn't stop. I am. My mentality is still that of a cop. Forgive me in certain circumstances, but that's how my mind is wired now.
Hmm.
So, your head's on a swivel. You're always observing. You've always got what's going on here, what's going on there. I was pointing out damage on a car to Rach, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't even notice that car that was driving to
I
this
mean,
going to
it
be
was close
cut."
enough that I could see it
Yeah,
once he pointed it out.
right. But it's stuff because the car cut us off at a
Like I
light.
have enough vision to see
Yeah,
that, but
but as a cop, this is stuff that you're
yeah.
looking out for, so you can differentiate when you're calling in a description of a car. Things that make things out. So that's stuff that sticks out to me. Edward, anything you eat regularly is your diet. It's about balancing carbs and proteins.
Yes.
But
Working on that one.
yes,
Which we've definitely cut a lot of carbs.
we've cut a lot, except
You
for
know.
today.
Yeah.
We didn't cut carbs today nor tomorrow because it's like, oh, look at that, a 2 for 1 at Little Caesars.
And it's Super Bowl time.
So we got food,
Yeah, we got excuses out the ass.
right? We got the
Yeah.
food. So and by the way, for Super now, I don't really drink a lot of beer anymore. It's mostly wine. But for the Super Bowl, I'll be drinking some beer. I
Not
know.
really drink.
But here's the deal though. I do have some very I won't say artsy beers, but I do have some limited brew beers. But I'm gonna be mixing them with a high end zero alcohol beer. And I'm gonna hopefully find that middle ground of taste and not much of a buzz. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works. Parasocial. I remember making iced tea with bags and sunlight. I forgot the recipe. Yes.
Oh,
Now,
like a sun tea.
sun tea.
Yeah.
My mother, when I was in my teens and 20s, used to make sun tea. And like when my friends would come over for gaming, we would have sun tea. My mother was great at making that for us. She'd make us like 2 pitchers, sometimes 3.
Oh, remember those pictures? I was used to look forward to that
Yeah.
tea when I used to come here.
Oh,
Like,
that wasn't even sun tea. That was the
yeah,
fresh brewed
that
tea
was her fresh brewed tea
from the
from the tea bags,
from the
like
tea bag from
whatever
the
black tea
iced
she
tea
got.
maker. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my mother used to make the sun tea, and then one year, I guess she put out. I guess the water was too cold from the tap, and the sun was too bright, and the glass pitcher that you brewed in shattered on in the bag.
Oh, I didn't realize she put it out bad.
That was sun tea.
Mm.
It wasn't just hot tea. It was
Mm.
brewed in the sun.
Hmm.
Yep. Edward, my favorite New York spot for tea, McNulty's Tea and Coffee.
Yes, and Sullivan Street.
Established in 1895, it's a renowned purveyor of fine teas and
Yes.
coffees located at 109 Christopher Street.
Oh, it's Christopher. Oh, yeah. Okay. And there's another one up like around 13th Street. I can't remember the name of that one. By Integral Yoga.
Don, my pizza dough is rising now. I'll be making homemade calzones for the movie tonight.
Oh, very cool.
I love calzones.
And it's cool when you can control your ingredients
Yep,
too.
when you know what you're putting into yourself. Edward, snow is starting in Bushwick.
Ah,
Looks like it's going to get pretty thick.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, they have no idea. Like I said, first saying nothing, then they were saying 3 to 5, then it was 1 to 3. Now it's 1 to 3, potentially. What the hell does that mean? It means as long
We
as
just don't friggin' know.
as long as we get a noticeable snow on the ground, we called it right. um, Parasocial. The sun tea was tasted good, but I forgot how or if it was sweetened. My mother used to just use pure cane sugar back then. In my younger days, it was just sugar. The cheapest sweetener, most unhealthy sweetener you could find for yourself. Pure cane sugar.
Mm.
Yeah, parasocial. I could have been 0 calories or sugar water. I can't remember. My mother made sugar. It was good sugar water though.
Mm. Yeah, I don't
And
think I got the sun tea. I got her iced tea maker.
and tea back then always had one other ingredient in it: mint.
Mm.
Because we've always had mint growing in the
And
backyard,
she loves that.
so she loves
Yeah.
her mint. Now we have mint growing in our garden, and I hate to say it, I tend to pick it just so I can compost it or throw it out so it doesn't go crazy. So, Edward, it means that the Mid Hudson will get 5 to 8, New York City will get 1 to 4. Yeah,
Eh,
yeah. I
hmm.
think the Poconos are looking at 3 to 5 or 4 to 6.
Okay.
So that makes
Sort of like
sense.
Mid Hudson.
Yeah. higher, higher elevations could be getting more.
Hmm.
Oh, I've got the belches. I did have pizza for dinner. I'm not saying I didn't.
Yeah, we got. I can't snack. I'm still full.
I
Yeah.
know how my tummy feels.
Yeah.
So we've had a little. It's funny. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but the sleep I got was high quality.
Yeah.
Figure that one out. But we had a little stress last night because our doggy. I noticed her walking in the bed, and she was walking with a limp with her hindquarters, and I was like,
She was lifting her
kind
right back paw.
right, and it was kind of like, all right, did she have poop that didn't fully poop, or is it? She's long haired,
Yeah.
so occasionally she has
Did she get something caught in her hair?
right, and she's uncomfortable. Did one of her nails break, or
Yeah, we couldn't feel anything.
I think what we think because before we went to sleep, she was walking a little bit better, and she's walking a lot better today, but she's still kind of favoring that back right side. But she's still scurrying around.
Yeah. But she needs like help to get down from the bed and
Yeah.
to go back up in the bed.
So it wasn't to the point where we're like, oh my god, I gotta get her out to an emergency vet. But it could have been a muscle spasm. It could be arthritis.
I don't know.
Pretty sure it wasn't a stroke
Mm.
because it wasn't the whole side.
Yeah.
So, or it could have been a muscle spasm. It could have been that she fell off the bed. We didn't know about it, and she hurt herself.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll know more as we monitor the doggy.
Yeah.
Um,
So I was just over there with her.
Edward, I grew up with Arnold Palmer,
Oh,
so
yum.
we were
Yeah.
the only people in the in Southwest Michigan who knew the joy of juice from Long Island.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly though, Arnold Palmer was when Arizona iced tea started going everywhere. Is when I found
Mm-hmm.
Arnold Palmer because Arizona iced tea was cheap. Snapple was
Yeah.
preeminent for the longest time, and then Arizona snuck in, and those price points were like, oh well, at that price point,
Oh, absolutely. Because Snapple was expensive.
and
You could get your 99 cent big Snapple.
now I will admit that I was a Snapple addict for a year or two.
Me too.
No, but there was a reason for my Snapple addiction.
Oh.
So when I was working in the South Bronx in the confines of the 401 precinct, Snapple's main distribution center for New York City was in Hunts Point, where we worked, and they sold Snapple in their warehouse facility out of the machine, cold, at a nickel a bottle
Mm.
because it was for Snapple employees. But we were allowed, even encouraged, to come in. So we'd come in,
Nice.
and you'd have like 3 or 4 nickels. You'd be getting 4 bottles for the night, and
Yeah.
then you were like, high on the caffeine. We had that, and there was also an ice cream place with the ice cream sandwiches. And those were also a nickel a piece out of a machine. So you go
Oh.
for your Snapples and your ice cream sandwiches. Not a good healthy diet. Yeah, I gotta say, I think, you look at cops. We had a saying uh, back in the late 90s, and maybe you've heard the one: a good cop is never cold, hungry, or wet. Okay, and what that means is even if you're on a foot post, where you can go to get warm, grab a bite to eat, get out of the rain. Our saying in my unit was a good cop is always well fed.
Mm.
Sometimes it's quality, sometimes it's quantity. So you knew the places where, with a short drive, you could get some of the best food in the South Bronx at
Mm.
reasonable prices, or you went to a place where it was dirt cheap and the food was
Yep.
it was aight, but it was dirt cheap. So you knew those places, you know. So all right, so I guess we're close enough. We're close enough to tea time. Oh, all right. Not tea time, but like at the golf course, isn't it when they tee off? Is that it?
Yeah. Yes.
Tea time? Tea time.
That is thing.
So, you know, we've had, uh, I think we all have this. There's events going on in life around you
Yes.
that you, you know how things should be going. You know from your own personal experience, your background, your life, your
You know what needs
occupation.
to be done and
You
how to do
you know what needs to be done.
it.
You know how to do it, and it's not even you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink type of situation. It's that uh, they're not even listening. All right, it's not even somebody's ignore. They're not even close enough to ignore you. They're just kind of like, I don't want to know, and it gets very frustrating. And uh, you can, or they will constantly tell you what they are doing is right, and all they want from you is your support, and they're not doing right, and you
Hmm.
can't give that. And it's strange too because in a lot of ways, when this stuff comes up, we see it happening in our personal relationships, in our personal circles. But now I'm seeing similar popping up beyond that. It's almost like political circles where
Mm.
people are so sure that their opinion is right that they can't help but ignore the rest of the world around them. I don't know. I'm not sure if but it frustrates us, right? Nobody wants to be uh, preached to, and nobody
Hmm.
wants to be uh, lectured to, especially when the person that is lecturing, based upon your experiences, is got it wrong anyway. Is that accurate?
I guess in some ways, yeah, like life gives you a lot of things that you can't control, whether they be within your own body, mind,
Mm-hmm.
whether they be that step out, um, in terms of like family,
Right.
like addiction is something that often we can't,
You can't.
or like certain physical limitations
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that we can't control. Like I can't control the fact that I have really poor eyesight, for
Right. Like
example.
your vision
That's not fixable.
your
I
vision
learned that early
limitations
on.
are not fixable.
Yes. And
I have mobility issues.
right.
These are not uh, fixable. You find workarounds.
Yes.
You know,
You adapt.
you adapt, but
However, you know, it can be very hard to adapt fully if you're not in acceptance of the fact that this is what it is. And even something as obvious as, yes, I have really bad eyesight and it's going to limit this or that,
right.
sort of maybe not wanting to accept or perceive the limitation that it might pose,
So Don,
or like feeling like, oh, maybe it can be fixed. We'll see this doctor, we'll see that doctor, you know.
all I need is a different opinion, and
Yeah.
that'll change the reality.
Yeah.
Don, when my daughter passed, it took me a long time to accept that I had no control of the situation.
Yeah.
Hard lesson learned, and that's listen. I mean, you're talking to somebody who, as a cop for 20 years, when I was a cop, uh, I had, and I think most successful law enforcement officers have this to some degree, but I believe in my own immortality.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. When you're getting stuck by needles, when you are going up to doors where somebody could have something to use against you on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
when you live in a world where people can pull up alongside patrol cars and just start emptying bullets into them, you have to believe in your own immortality, or else you're not going to be getting out of bed in the morning. You're not going to be going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And when I retired, one of the first things that I lost was that illusion. I
Mm-hmm.
think Rach noticed that
Yeah.
with me. And it was a wake up call. I didn't want to get that illusion back. It was a necessary one for what I did,
Right.
but it's not one
But it
that
didn't serve you in
didn't serve
retirement.
didn't serve me in retirement.
Yeah.
But even like, and maybe this is just me, and I know I've bitched to this to some of my friends over the last, I don't know, days, weeks, months. I am tired of something that I have very little control over, and that is the constant political shit in my social media streams. And I don't, and I'm not talking about in like personal groups where everybody's talking shit and you want it, right? But my social media streams, I want to talk gaming, all right, or I want to talk. Okay, somebody had some issues in their life personally that they're struggling with, and how can I support? How can I help? Not this constant, vile, vulgar bullshit from either side of the aisle, where people think that since they're sprouting it, that they're going to change minds. So,
Mhm.
what I did during the political season, which I thought would have been done by now, is I unfollowed a lot of people. If you know what, don't know what unfollowing is, it's not unfriending. It's not like, fuck you, uh, you're dead to me. No, it's kind of like, you know what? It's kind of like ghosting. It's like, all right, so Phil doesn't need to know that I'm no longer reading his social media posts. So I put them on unfollow, and they no longer come up in my feed. And now, why do I do that? Well, initially, I was only doing it to people that were excessively doing it. And if I personally knew them, I made an exception. But now I've gotten to the point where if I personally know you and you're obsessed with fucking politics, I do have it. I thought I didn't have it in my control. I was like, I can't, because I don't want to dislike people that are friends of mine because they're obsessed. I have a relative that's obsessed with the political events going on that have no direct effect on them whatsoever, but they're obsessed. So I am now unfollowing friends and family. Surprising. But for me, it's either do that or I'm going to start to actively dislike these friends and family that I don't want to actively dislike. You know,
Right, that
I
don't really deserve it,
right.
because they can go on and on about whatever they want to,
I
and
just don't
but
need to
you don't.
see it,
Yeah.
and that's something that
So I
I
guess you're kind of going for like, how do you keep your serenity, in a world where we're kind of bombarded with,
yeah.
just a lot of different
Like
things,
I can't control the obsessions of others. I
Yeah.
can't. I have no control over that.
Hmm.
However, and I used to think it was like, well, if I unfollow somebody, in a way, it's disrespectful, and maybe I'll miss something useful that they're going to share. But you know what? If I continue in this, I'm not going to want to. I'm not going to want to see them in person. And is that is
Hmm.
is that is that healthy?
Right.
You
So,
know?
when we were preparing, when we were talking about the topic, sorry, it made me think of
Yeah.
the Serenity Prayer. Serenity Prayer is like a prayer that sort of helps you, well, keep your serenity, um, because it helps you sort of decipher, what do I need to respond to, what don't I,
Hmm.
where do I need to focus, kind of thing. And it was something that, like, um, it is used often in addiction circles, codependency circles, like after a group in the inpatient where I worked, um, and even in the some of the outpatients, the clients would always like to say the Serenity Prayer, and that was like part of the group. It was part of like getting them ready to go back out into the
and
world.
it's and
So
it's
we'd
not
all like
and
so
it's
every
non-denominational. Yeah, that's
yeah, pretty much now,
yeah, yeah.
and so what it is God grant me the serenity, um to oh my god, I'm having stage fright right now, and I've been retired a long time. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It keeps coming. It keep
It's okay, Rach.
keep coming back. It works if you work it. So work it. You're worth it. Live it and love it, and all that good stuff. Well, that was their little add on
Yeah, I'm
to
about to
it.
say
But
that doesn't sound like the prayer I saw at mine.
no, that was their little add-on
All right,
in the third community.
all right. I'm gonna go catch up on the chat here. Parasocial, believe it or not, Canadian gaming groups face, if not constant, spirals of demands for anti-Republican political stances.
Oh.
Gothridge Matter, Tim. Always tough.
Mm.
Like in our text chat, I prefer to be in the non-political feed, but it
Mhm.
still leaks in. And I'll be honest with you, Tim. Who's the one that set up the political feed? Because it
Uh-oh.
was causing problems in our general feed. There were people that
People
on,
that just wanted to opt out.
or opt out, or it became a day long pissing match between people that were entrenched on their own sides and really weren't going to listen to each other. So figured leave this as an opt in, and those that don't want to opt in, at least you know what you're going to get. And the other one is devoted to what we want it to be about, which is gaming and apparently fucked up memes from Matt Jackson and Joe the Lawyer.
Mhm.
Joe's are usually about taking a shit, but that's besides the point.
Okay. Well, that only Joe can control.
Parasocial and growing up, Canadian culture had an admittedly smug predisposition to try to ignore American politics and or to claim they didn't affect us, even though they always do.
Oh yeah.
Well, hey, listen, when you become the 51st state, and by the way, if Canada became the 51st state, you'd swing politics toward the left.
Yes.
You'd swing that 50-50 balance that we're always playing with. So, as far as the conservatives / Republicans are concerned, they really don't want you as the 51st state.
Well, they'd have to reapportion the whole thing.
You know,
find the conservative or the Democrat places or whatever. Wow, that's crazy.
yeah.
That's just so crazy.
Let's see.
And yeah, it's like fine. Sometimes it's like we all catch reactions to certain things that people say, but sometimes we need to hear them because we need to hear what people are thinking. And what's going on in people's mind and awareness.
Oh yeah.
But
the thing is, with certain, it's like we're learning. There's a family issue going on with the extended family that no outside opinions are really desired, just support.
Yes.
Which is frustrating because some of us have outside opinions based upon our life experience and work experience that we consider to be as valid as any other opinions being brought to the table. But
or probably more.
I'm trying to be polite. I know it's a rare thing. I caught you off guard. Go just roll with it. Okay. Okay. He was trying to be nice, but the thing with political discussions is political discussions from the left or from the right are essentially echo chambers.
Yeah.
They're echo chambers.
Yeah.
Because you're spewing your bullshit. You're not looking to have a conversation where somebody goes, "Oh, by the way, A, B, C, and X, Y, Z is why you were wrong." And you're going, "Oh my God, I never realized I was wrong. What a fucking putz. You're right. Let me become..."
No, it's never going to happen that way. So
I'm going to become from a smugitarian to a Fartulucian in my political.
A Fartulucian.
I don't know. I don't want to use Republican or Democrat.
Oh, okay. Oh.
But I mean, the problem with politics, right? Especially politics when we talk about politics, is that it's a religion these days.
Look, you know what it is? We all see the world from a different angle.
Oh yeah.
And so we can like even like in the situation with a family member, we can catch feelings, we can get excited, we can try to give our opinions. But until that person is ready to, hear it or do something with it, then it's just realizing that you're shit out of luck right now. And it doesn't mean that the person like hates us. It doesn't mean that the person doesn't value us.
No.
It just means that their view of the world is very rigid,
right?
From their own, and maybe our view is very rigid from the stuff we've been doing. But
I think it often is, and that the thing is. But the acceptance of
until there's some sort of like major happening that helps us be able to have more openness around discussion of it.
I think that part of the secret to all of this is don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Whether it is family issues or politics or I don't know, the price of gas,
Yeah.
whatever that. Don't take it personal. Don't make it personal.
Well, politics
Well,
and many things.
but especially the family stuff.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
because it can be frustrating. You can be
Hmm.
like, I know how to
I
solve
have
it.
the answer
I
right
have.
here. What's the
Why
matter with you?
what the fuck? You respect me enough to listen, but it's not about
It's
you.
not.
It's not about you, and that's part of we have to sometimes realize. Now,
Hmm.
parasocial. Going back to the Canada issue, you may have 10 provinces. Okay, I understand that. But I think 95% of your population lives within 100 miles of the U.S. border.
Oh, okay. Because so it's too cold up in there for anybody to.
So, you know, we're not
Or
looking.
like, yeah, that northern spot where like it takes many days for the train to go.
We're not looking for. Listen, your provinces that are all ice road truckers and gold
Yeah.
rush. We're not. They don't count as.
Yeah, we'll
Sorry.
still be screwed because we won't have any trains even if we do get Canada. It's not gonna help us.
Oh my
We're still
god!
gonna have to build that much more rails and stuff.
Yeah, it's like global warming. Canada's going to be beautiful in about 10,000 years of global warming. You're all
Yeah,
okay.
we're all gonna be dying there.
Yeah, it's like I need my house out in Ottawa. Come on, can I get my house out in Ottawa? Let me get away from here.
We better start building those rail lines now. Cause
Yeah, we got to hook up in Nova Scotia. Come on, got relatives up there. That's where we got to go. Not Newfoundland. I visited Newfoundland as a teen. You couldn't pay me to go back to Newfoundland. That was in the summertime. That was July. And they were complaining about a heat wave because they hit the 70s.
Where's Newfoundland and Nova Scotia? Nova
Okay, so
Scotia is just beyond Maine,
right,
and then Newfoundland is
it's
up
beyond
north.
it's beyond that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Nova Scotia, I think I love because
You want to go
the
beyond?
Celtic music
You want to
scene
go
is calling
beyond? You
me.
want to go beyond Maine? All right.
Yeah.
So the bumper stickers that you could go home with. Now, really, this is me and my. I was like 15, 6. I think maybe I was 16. Uh, the world ends at 12 o'clock,
What
12:30.
does that even mean?
12:30 in Newfoundland.
What is that closing time?
No, because they are a half an hour uh, earlier than New York time. So
Oh, so they're in the next.
not quite. They're half a time zone. They are half a time zone.
Who entitled them to have a half a time zone?
Newfies.
Just themselves?
Yes.
So they're really in our
all
time
right.
zone, and they just
So
decided it.
so here is a normal tree.
A half an hour.
Here, see this thing? This is a normal tree, right? Here, I'll put a branch up on it. So there. This is your normal tree. You know how this grows in Newfoundland?
Crooked.
Yeah, all blown down by the wind.
Oh.
And they're all and they only grow like 20 feet long, or like 12 feet high because they're all growing on an angle.
Wow.
You know, it could have changed since then. I have no idea. I doubt it though. Yeah, parasocial. They were all string along the border. I like the ending of the first Blade Runner. Canada was still untouched wilderness after global nuclear war. There you go. You knew, you Canadians, you Newfies knew. It's like why God, again, Newfoundland was just a bizarre place, and so with Newfoundland, I don't think back then I don't think there was any airport to Newfoundland, but you took a ferry. I think, from Maine to Newfoundland, but then you arrive on the southern shore of Newfoundland, and then to get to St. John's, where my uncle and aunt
Is
lived.
Newfoundland like an island?
It's an island, yeah. There's no bridges to Newfoundland. At least there weren't at the time. So you had to drive the length of the island. We got stopped by the cops.
Of course.
You want to know why we got stopped? My mother was driving so slow because she was so dead tired. She was pulled over for drunk driving until they saw the New York license plate, and then went, "What the?" Oh, I can't do a Newfie accent, but it was literally a "what the fuck." And then we got escorted to my uncle's house, if I recall correctly.
Oh, escorted, no less.
No less, because they were like these New York before GPS. So This is when you.
Oh, it wasn't. Oh, let's
No,
make sure these
no,
troublemakers get to where
no.
they're going.
This is when you got like the AAA flip book stamped with every turn you gotta. It's like all right, and as you're driving up Newfoundland Route 407 for 300 miles, make a right at the dead tree. It was just bizarre. So yeah, but we got there. Yes, Fugly, they have their own time zone. That's
legit. That's
yeah,
not just them. Like
yeah, it's just them. Half an hour.
That's weird.
That's where you play Come From Away is set. There's an airport there, Old Military. Well, that I didn't know. All I knew is
Is there a duty free in it?
What?
Is there a duty free in it?
I have no idea there's a duty free in that airport. What the? They're obsessed with the duty free.
You gotta.
And by the way, she's not
deals on your perfume.
I'm about to say she's not talking about alcohol. Most of the audience here is going
duty free. Oh, alcohol.
No.
Yeah, it's basically alcohol and perfume.
Yeah. No.
Maybe cigarettes are used to be. But...
Yeah, I want the other alcohol. I want the other alcohol product, the one that you can't drink, the one that you wear so you smell nice. Oh God. Parasocial Newfoundland had one of the first major airports in the world, or aeroport, as you had to refuel in Gander, flying from New York to Gander, Newfoundland, to Iceland, to Scotland.
Oh, okay.
Oh, like a little pod skipper.
Yeah, and they probably have to have it too, like for some of those transatlantic flights where people get unruly because they drink too much. Like,
so what? They throw you off in Newfoundland?
Yes. They could. Do they do that there, or do they do that? I don't think they do it in Iceland.
Well,
I think they do it in the last bit of Canada, and they,
Well, you gotta drink pretty fast if you're unruly to get thrown out.
Yeah, no, but I've heard of it happening.
Fugu, when all the planes were grounded for 9/11, the population there grew exponentially.
Wow.
Because they all had to land and remain for months. Oh my God.
Wow.
Newfoundland's infrastructure probably was not built for that. Oh my God. During 9/11, they stacked Atlantic flights in Gander after turning them away from New York.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That's just not the place. I mean, admittedly, I was 15, 16. So maybe my point of view would be different as an adult.
It might have developed quite a lot.
Listen, all I know is that there was a bookstore there.
Oh.
And that's where I found my Thomas Covenant series, which meant that's when I started reading about the insane leper that raped people in his fantasy world.
Never heard of it.
Probably best. It was interesting, but it was strange. But I was like, this looks interesting. It's like, oh, I guess I'm not going to bring this up to my parents that this leper.
That's freaking crazy. Well, I'm sitting here thinking of those leper jokes.
Why was the leper hockey game called off? Rach, why was the leper hockey game called off? Come on. There was a face-off at middle ice. All right. What should you never ask a leper to lend you? There you go. What did the leper say to the prostitute? Keep the tip. Truly tasteless jokes, volume 1.
I forgot that one. It was
Oh my God. Then went from the leper jokes to the Polish jokes. Oh my God. Sorry, folks. Listen, only the best entertainment on a Saturday night are you going to find here at the tavern.
Especially something from that, whatever that book is.
Truly tasteless jokes.
No, whatever book you were talking about before with the
Thomas Covenant. Thomas Covenant series by Stephen R. Donaldson. Yes. Fugly, you see Come From Away. It tells the story of the 9/11 groundings. It is absolutely great. Fugly, it took me, I don't know, there's that really good World Trade Center movie about the Port Authority cops.
Fahrenheit 9/11?
No. The one with Oh God, one of the cops was one of the actors from not Hill Street Blues, the NYPD Blue, and
Crusoe or something.
not Caruso. It was one of the tertiary players.
Oh.
And but in any case, it's about the Port Authority cops that uh, were rescued. Like I guess, like I don't know, nearly 20 hours or so after the incident.
Oh.
Um, I could not watch that movie until about I don't know 5 6 years ago. Came out, I guess maybe a decade after 9/11.
Yeah.
Because it's I Rach will see me and I will occasionally force myself to like something comes up on YouTube. I go, oh, and I'll watch it, but it is still too
Raw.
raw, and it's literally nearly 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and I know I've spoken with Jen Glazer from Frog God Games,
Mm-hmm.
and she was working for the airlines as a flight attendant at the time.
Okay.
Still works for the airlines as a
Yeah.
flight attendant, and we have compared notes from other sides of the well, not a coin, but there's a lot of 9/11 and the events around it affected a lot of
Yeah.
occupations that were directly part of
Yeah.
we discussed it too because like you said it stranded a lot of airline workers and then once things got up and running again everybody was out of place. All your teams were not where they needed to be and you had to move
Mm-hmm.
people around just so you could start moving passengers around.
Right.
It was amazing to hear some of what
Yeah.
she went through.
Yeah.
So now tomorrow's the Super Bowl. And what is it? The Chiefs and the Eagles?
Yes.
Okay. Um I would have preferred Buffalo. Listen, it's a New York team, even though it's not a New York City team. Not that New York City has a team because they really play in Jersey. I know. But it's the only New York team that actually
Went anywhere.
doesn't suck. Oh
And they have that fella that had the heart issue like 2 years
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's his
um,
name? D.
I, I know what you're talking about. I remember the incident. We were watching the
Yes,
game,
yes, that was so scary.
but
Devontae or
it
something.
happened during the playoffs. So we're going to be watching the Super Bowl tomorrow. I'm going to be rooting for a good game. Leaning toward the Eagles, maybe, but I like You know what? I do happen to like the
Mahomes.
Mahomes. Yeah. So, and what I just think he's got a good competitive personality, but he's not a total asshole.
Yeah.
So take it for what it's worth. Maybe we can have. By the way, I don't watch halftime shows anymore
But
because
we look at all the
the
commercials a
commercials I
lot.
watch at the halftime shows I. Uh, they've always got they have a message that is not just it's not corporate, it's not anti-American.
This
It
year it was Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, but
2 years ago it was Rihanna.
most of these
Last year it was Usher, I think.
yeah, but most of these halftime shows, not coming as a conspiracy theorist, most of these halftime shows, it seems like the Church of Satan came in and said, "Hey, I this, and this in this halftime show." Just not doing a conspiracy theory, kind of, sort of. But it just seems that it is over the top in its imagery of. So I'll probably decide to take my daily poop at that point. I'll wait it out. Rachel's like, "Oh, I was gonna reserve the bathroom for that time." I know they're sad. She's like, "Oh." I was going to take a shower during halftime so I could brush my hair out during the second half of the show. Truly, I watch halftime shows and skip the games. I like the commercials the most. And by the way, the commercials often do give an insight into the way the cultural swing is going.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be an interesting one. Just
Yeah.
from
Wow.
an observer's point of view,
Wow.
I think that we are going to have a culture war taking place during.
Did I hear that there was some sort of commercials that were sponsored by um, Elon Musk?
That is the rumor that there are 5 commercials.
Ah.
Michael McMurphy, demonic imagery, just like that terrible devil game, Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, and
He's
listen,
calling you satanic panic.
hey, my mother's Aunt Norma, God rest her soul, Sister Camilla, full black habit, didn't believe in Vatican II, believed that masses should still be in Latin. She was going to do my parents a favor and throw out all my D&D books for them, and they
And for your soul.
for my soul. They said we'll take care of that, and obviously, yeah, the commercials are usually the best parts.
Yes, that's always the case.
Yes, so that should be interesting. But again,
The amount of money that gets spent on advertising
right,
for this
and
is
you have to remember too
probably the biggest of all year.
when it comes to these commercials, they're not being nobody's running commercials to lose money. Everybody's running commercials to make money. It's an investment. So they are
last a lot of Temu commercials.
So it's going to be a very interesting take on the corporate temperature of the room and how corporations view the American viewing public and the direction that they are leaning. And I'm going to be very interested in getting a feed on that. Yeah, I am. I find this stuff interesting.
Oh.
Michael again. I almost didn't get D&D for Christmas because the cashier told my grandma it was for demon worshippers. She put it back. You can't get it. It's basic boxes, basic demon worshiping. A good friend of mine, still a friend of mine, introduced me to D&D. And the only reason why I'm not going to mention their name, and I've mentioned their name in the past, is because their mother I guess she didn't know what was going on with the game, about the game. So he got the books out of sight. And
she had no clue.
And he didn't have the amount of books that I would wind up having. No.
Okay. That would be hard.
But I remember when she was going through separation with her husband, she became extremely religious.
I thought that she was always.
No, more so. To the point where she would talk in tongues. So then the books were verboten. So yeah, my parents were very understanding. Yeah, they were pretty good. It kept.
See, Thomas had it. My parents had no clue.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, never had it, and no.
Yeah,
my parents had
Michael's
no idea.
My mom.
He just likes reading books. Okay.
Yeah. My mom ended up getting it for me as a present. Yeah, my mother got me the Player's Handbook and the Dungeon Master's Guide and a set of dice, so which wasn't cheap. Because what was the Player's Handbook was $12, DMG was $15. I think the dice were $7.50 back then. These were high quality like Coplow dice.
Coplow?
Yeah, it was a manufacturer of dice back then. These weren't cheap dice. These weren't generic dice. These were high quality dice, and I got it for my birthday, and then the rest was history. The rest was all downhill. And then you got Tenkar and shit. So, but folks, thank you so much. Next week we will be here. 2 weeks we will be here, but on a Sunday, because Saturday we are going to be at Total Con. So I'll be spending the afternoon tomorrow updating the Tenkar's Tavern convention calendar. I don't have the links up right now, but
Where is it?
yeah, the link is up. It's at tencars-tavern.game/conventions.
Do you have it over here?
No, I do somewhere underneath those stuff, but I'm trying to put up every gaming convention I can find in the continental U.S.
Do you have the one here in Garden City?
No, I haven't gotten to that one yet. Put that one up, but not just where I'm going. This is all these conventions.
You're just trying to put a list of every
convention
con that
yes.
is around.
Yes.
Yeah. So and Phoenix Rising.
I got that on there. Already,
Okay.
but there's a lot more than that.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be. I've got a lot of people.
I'm sure we're going to hear about so many different local stuff that.
Yeah. So and non-local stuff.
Yeah.
So, folks, thank you very much. May the best team win tomorrow, and hopefully that's your team. And if you hate football, which a lot of my cop friends hate football. They hate a lot of my friends in my police sphere hate organized sports ever since the take a knee situation. But I still find some entertainment and some enjoyment in it. So I'm just looking for a good game. I really don't have any investment.
Well, this is the first year they're not going to have that thing about
I know. Yeah.
that racism thing.
Stop racism. Now it's love is love or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah, love is love, or
I don't think it's that. I think it's something. It's something about love, but I don't think it's the love is love. I don't think
love
it's
everybody or whatever. Again, I don't like it when I don't like politics when it mixes into my gaming or social issues. And yes, I know I use politics and social issues interchangeably. Go fuck me, whatever. But I don't like it when it gets into my entertainment. Period. It doesn't need to be there. Fugly, I prefer disorganized sports. Yep, I understand what you're saying. Listen, you want to see sports, you will watch those. Whatever else the Brits and the Celts screw up, watch rugby or Irish. Don't watch Irish football. Oh my God! You want to see war played out on a field of battle right in front of you. Irish football. I've seen it. It was exhilarating. It was scary. I felt the pain. Yeah. I don't know how these people walked off the field. All right, folks. On that note, as always, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice. Roll them well. Next live stream, maybe a daytime one on Tuesday. I got to talk with Mike and Glenn. Next live stream, though, is Monday night. Myself and Glenn Hallstrom. That's a shift. I know. Glenn's an actor. He's getting ready to be appearing in a play. He's got practice going on. So we have to make accommodations. Monday night, 8 p.m., live stream, Glenn and myself.
He's a thespian.
He's a thespian. Not an equestrian. He's a thespian. And I'm not talking with a list. It's just that he's a thespian. Is that right? Okay. Did it? That's all, folks.